Hey guys, Emily Muccianti here, and I'm back with a video for my reading intervention teachers that is brand new and is going to help you to answer one of the big issues that you may be finding, and that is how do you bring formality and legitimacy to the position that you are carrying and the program that you are trying to develop. But first, I want to remind you to please like, subscribe, share this video with anybody who might benefit from it, because we're going to have an important conversation today about 3 tips for bringing formality or legitimacy to your actual program. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of backstory about how this came to be. This has been a conversation that I have had with a number of my private clients who are creating intervention programs for the first time at a school. Usually what is happening is that schools are getting some resources, some funding, and they're looking at some pretty dismal score reports related to proficiency. And so they may be putting this resource money or budget to hiring personnel, which may be yourself, providing resources, any kinds of things so that they can start to develop an intervention program at their school. But there's a couple of problems here. There's not always a real vision about what this is going to look like from a school-wide standpoint. And what happens is that intervention teachers are hired, they're excited, they want to get out there and create this really amazing program, but they don't have any direction. There is perhaps a lack of vision, a lack of resources. And so I want to talk to you today about some things that you can do that will start to formalize what it is that you do and bring legitimacy to your actual program. So the first thing I am going to suggest that you do is you need to have an approved list of your duties and responsibilities in the position you currently carry. So let me tell you the backstory about this, because true story, I picked up a reading intervention position from one school into another, same district, and it was still kind of an area where the administration didn't really know what it was going to entail, and I wasn't really comfortable with that. So what I did is I wrote out my own duties and responsibilities in order for that to then be presented to the school board and be approved, so that it was very clear what I was going to be handling, what I was going to be covering. And it gave my administrator an idea of what it was that I could do and bring to the school and the program. So I would really urge you to lay out what you think your role needs to be. Have conversations with your administration about this. Talk to other people in your district that may share a position. And if you check in the show notes, I have a free template that is a list of, it started with mine, what my roles and responsibilities were, that you can download and you can modify to create your own. I would suggest that this be something that you talk with your administrator about. I think it's also a good idea to have it board approved. That way, if and when you decide to move on from the position that you are in, you have left that district something that they could then build on for that next person, so that they are not starting blind again. So again, check out the link in the show notes. You can copy that into your browser and give you a good starting point. And if you've got one, I would love to see it, something that you're very proud of. Give me an email, shout out Reading Diva 06, and we'll check that one out. The second thing that I think you should consider doing is gathering all of your documentation and reports and ideas in one central location into kind of an intervention binder. And as you could see behind me, what I did was went through my closet and I found a few of the binders that I created over the years. Every time I came into a new position, a new school, I wanted to make sure that I was documenting everything that we were doing so that my administrator had access to it. They could share it at the school site council meetings. They could share it at a board meeting. They knew really what was happening inside of the intervention program, because really what happens is our administrators, so busy, would never want to be an administrator. Thank you for what you do if you're an administrator, but they don't really know what is happening on the day to day. And so having a place where you are collecting all of this information is a really good idea. And so I'm going to show you. You can see this is one of mine and how thick it is. And so what I've done is put everything into one binder with explanations about what is being gathered in that section. And I am currently in the process of creating a resource, a template where you could actually grab this and put your own binder together without having to kind of guess what goes in there. I do have some things to kind of tell you what you could put in it though. So some of the things that I would include in my binder is, first of all, give some background about the school. What is the vision of the school? What is happening in the way of demographics at your school? You could talk about a rationale or a vision that you have for this program. And then you're going to include the things that you're using. What are your screening protocols? What assessment tools are you using? What resources are you using for instruction? And of course, you can put in this binder things that are maybe presentations that you have given in your schools. If you have been working with and training your teachers in certain things, I always made copies of my slide decks and put them in my binder. For one, it was a great place for me to go back and go, do I have this? Do I not? And so it was a great place for me. You can also add your entrance and exit criteria. You could put examples or samples of score reports, individual score reports. You can put in here the reports from the school so that you are gathering all of this information in one place. But what's nice about this binder, I think, a couple of things. From year to year, I am putting in this binder everything that I am doing in all aspects of my intervention position. And then when I get ready to come into the next school year, I can kind of thumb through that as a way of going, okay, here's what we did last year. What do I want to change or add or modify for next year? And it's just a really great place to have it all. It is also nice that, again, if you are leaving in your position and you want to have your school have something there that they could then give to the person that takes your position. I picked up a couple of positions where this didn't exist, and I was left kind of recreating everything, which pros and cons, I had the background and the knowledge to do that, but it certainly would have been a lot easier had I had something that I could have started with. So consider creating an intervention binder. And then the other thing that I think is a great way to bring legitimacy to what you are doing is to share what you are doing and the results that you're getting in your program with not only your teachers and your administrators, but with your school board, with maybe your local newspaper. You want to share what is happening. It's really kind of a PR situation where you want to talk about your school and highlight some of these programs that are happening in your school. So this can be a really good way of getting the word out there, making other connections. Our particular program that we were running at one of our schools was really a model throughout the state, and I would get visitors from other school districts to come in and visit. And so when those things happened, I would send out emails to my staff, or we would send it out to the district email. We had a little local newspaper that we would give that information to, because that's really cool when other people are coming in to see what it is that you are doing, in hopes that they can learn and replicate or modify what you're doing to fit their own need. So I hope that gives you some things to think about. Again, don't forget the duties and responsibilities will be in there, but I want to show you something. This is a part of a collection that I have done honoring Dr. Anita Archer. And I am so excited to say that they are available on Amazon. We've got some Archerisms. There's also some other reading teacher swag and t-shirts and book totes and that sort of thing that you could check out. Kind of a creative outlet for me. And plus, I always like teacher shirts. I just do. So those are available if you want to check those out. There's a link in the chat. And if you are watching this in real time, I want to invite you to join us for our next open reading intervention teacher Q&A. That is going to be on Monday, February 12th, 2024. So that will be in the show notes as well. You can always check out my website, get on my list so that you are given some information about when different events come up, and stay in touch, be a part of my newsletter. And there are more things to come. I've got lots of things in the works. So hopefully that is going to be something that you are interested in. I want to remind you, as always, thank you for what you do. It's not an easy job, but it is important, and I appreciate all of you. Thanks for the emails and the comments. Keep them coming. It's a blast. We've got some conferences coming up. If anyone's going to the ORTI conference in Oregon in April, or Big Sky in August, I hope to see you there. Thank you for what you do. Bye for now.